Now coming to the fourth element of marketing mix, that is your promotion. Now how do we define promotion? Promotion includes all those activities which an organization carries out to inform the prospective consumers about the brand, right? To inform the consumers about the brand and about the product and its price, right? And at the same time to persuade and influence, okay, persuade and influence them to buy the product. That is informing the prospective customers about the product and its price, and at the same time influencing and persuading them to buy the product, right? Now there is something called as promotion mix. Promotion mix is a sum total of all the activities which are undertaken in order to inform the target market about the product and its price, right? And as well as which are carried out to persuade them and influence them to buy the product, right? The different ingredients of a promotion mix would be advertising, sales promotion, personal selling and public relations. First one being advertising. Let us understand what advertising is. We define it as a paid form of non-personal presentation of ideas by an identified sponsor. So it's a paid form of presentation. When we say it's a paid form, that means the sponsor has to bear the cost, right? You have to incur a lot of expenditure on making an advertisement. So it's a paid form of non-personal presentation. When we say non-personal presentation, it means that it is directed at the mass audience and not at single individual, right? The manufacturer is not coming in direct contact with, like, it's not a one-to-one interaction. So it is an non-personal presentation. It is directed at mass audience and not at any single person, right? Then it's a paid form of non-personal presentation of ideas by an identified sponsor. The sponsor is identified. किसने ad बनवाई है, that sponsor is identified, right? किसकी ad है, whether it is an ad of HUL or it's an ad of IT, the sponsor is specified, right? Now what is the role that advertising plays? First of all, it helps in creating a demand for the product, right? जब एक कोई नया प्रोडक्ट मार्केट में आता है, उसकी एडवर्टाइजमेंट बार बार फ्लैश होती है टीवी पे, ठीक है, उसको देख के काफ़ी लोग ऐसे हैं जो कि प्रोडक्ट खरीदने जाते हैं. सो बेसिकली एडवर्टाइजिंग इट हेल्प्स द कंपनी इन जनरेटिंग डिमांड फॉर द प्रोडक्ट. एंड यू वुड हैव सीन दैट एडवर्टाइजमेंट जब आनी शुरू होती है, इट्स नॉट दैट कि इट्स वन सिंगल टाइम. दिन में 4-4, 5-5, 6-6 बार ऐड आती है. टीवी में भी ऐड आएगी, उसकी रेडियो में भी ऐड आएगी, उसकी प्रिंट मीडिया में भी ऐड आएगी. सो द आइडिया इज दैट द ब्रांड नेम गेट्स रीइंफोर्स्ड इन द माइंड ऑफ द कस्टमर, सो दैट व्हेन यू गो आउट फॉर शॉपिंग, राइट, वो ब्रांड आपको दिखेगा अगर कहीं पे शॉप में, तो आप जाके एक बार चेकआउट जरूर करोगे चीजें, दैट व्हाट आर द प्रोडक्ट्स लाइक, राइट? सो इट जनरेट्स डिमांड फॉर द प्रोडक्ट. सेकेंड, इट एड्स टू द कंज्यूमर कॉन्फिडेंस. Many people have this mentality कि अगर इतनी बार इस प्रोडक्ट की ऐड आ रही है, if the company is spending so much on advertising about the product must be of good quality. The product must be of good quality, right? Because had it been of a substandard quality, why would the company spend so much of money? इतना पैसा कंपनी के पास कहाँ से आएगा? पैसा है तभी तो उन्होंने इतना पैसा एडवर्टाइजिंग पे लगाया है. एंड दिस दे प्री सपोज कि एडवर्टाइजिंग पे अगर इतना पैसा लगा रहे हैं तो प्रोडक्ट में भी अच्छा पैसा लगाया होगा टू मेक अ गुड क्वालिटी प्रोडक्ट, right? So it adds to the consumer confidence. Facilitates introduction of new product by informing people about the existence of the new product, by informing people about launching of the new product, because advertisement एक आती है but उसकी mass reach है. People in Delhi will also see the same ad at the same time, and people in Karnataka also will see the same ad at the same time. So look at the kind of the audience that I'm going to reach by one single ad. So it facilitates the introduction of a new product by informing the target customers about the features of the product. It educates the consumers about the uses of the product. It educates the consumers about the uses of the product, the availability of the product, from where all can they go and buy the product. Improves the standard of living by showing the ads of the different products, right? Advertisement, it creates a kind of an urge in the consumer to go and buy more, right? And thereby, I mean, अच्छे products की advertisements आएगी अगर, and we would want to use those products, that is indirectly, that is going to lead to an increase in the standard of living, right? Buyers come to know that the new products and improvements in the new products, this leads to a better lifestyle. Then economies of scale. Advertisement, it helps in increasing the demand for the product. Mass orders आएंगे तो large scale production होगी. Large scale production होगी तो economies of scale, that is a per unit cost of a product is going to go down. So these are certain advantages, or in other terms we can say role that the advertising plays. But there are certain objections also as far as advertising is concerned. They say that it encourages the sales of inferior or duplicate products. Advertisements तो सभी products की आती हैं. Then how does one decipher that whether advertisement is only being made for good quality products or bad quality products? When you are advertising, when you are giving an advertisement for an inferior product, the product quality is not good, right? So you are misleading the customer, you are making false claims, you are misleading the customer, and it happens many a times. The product quality is not all that good, but advertisement hai and you have a brand ambassador supporting and propagating the use of that product. So you are misguiding and misleading the customers. कई बार ऐसा होता है that on a website I had to order a pendant. Fine. So on the website the image of the pendant was magnified. So according to me, I thought it was a sumptuous, it would be of good size, but when I actually got the delivery of the pendant, it was such a tiny thing, right? So that is like misguiding or misleading the customer. Second is effect of advertising on lifestyle. What happens is that by seeing ads of new products every day, day in day out, मेरे पास phone है अभी already, right? But every day if I'm seeing ads of different phones which are coming up with new and unique features, so that urge to acquire more, okay, that comes within me. As a result of which I am never able to reach that state of contentment, right? I wish to acquire products which I do not even need. Right? But because of advertisements, उनको देख देख के तुम्हारे दिमाग में it creates a urge. You want to acquire it, right? Then some ads are in bad taste. In some ads, you see people, they are using foul language, right? Or they are making gestures which are not considered as appropriate, right? So such ads, they are not really in good taste. In some ads, they show women in derogatory and repressive forms, right? So that is also, that doesn't go very well, right? Then comes advertising confuses rather than help. Now if I have to go and buy a shampoo, let's say for example, right? Now एक तरफ तो हम बोलते हैं that advertisements, it educates the consumers about the different brands of a particular product which are available in the market, right? But on the contrary, it also confuses me up to an extent that इतने सारे brands हैं, and advertisement of each and every brand is so good and speaks so much about a particular product. So at the end of the day, I'm confused as to which one should I go for. Is Heads and Shoulders better or is Pantene better? Which particular shampoo should I go in for, right? Then last but not the least, advertisement costs are passed on to the customer. You incur such heavy expenditure on getting the advertisements for the product made. Many a times the manufacturers, they pass on the cost of advertisement to the customer in the form of inflated prices. Now coming to the second component of the promotion mix, that is sales promotion. What is sales promotion? Sales promotion refers to short-term use of incentive. Important word over here is short-term. Short-term use of incentives or other promotional activities that stimulates the customers to buy the product. ये हमेशा के लिए नहीं होता. This is for a very, very short period of time that these sales promotion techniques are used. Now let us see what all techniques do we use under sales promotion. Number one being rebates. Now many a times it happens that some shops or some brands, they are selling their merchandise at a special price which is a little less than the original price, so as to clear off its extra inventory, fine, and also increase the sales. Now there is a difference, okay? Second point is discount, wherein you give some percentage of price as a discount. For example, Reebok gives 40% flat discount on all its merchandise at the time of change of season. जब summer से winter stock आने वाला होता है, तो a brand, any particular brand may give 50%, 70% or 10%, right, off on its actual price. Now there's a difference between rebate and discounts. Rebate में there is a special price, राइट यहाँ पे अगर ऑफ है, हियर इफ यू आर टॉकिंग अबाउट 40% ऑफ और अप टू 40% ऑफ मीनिंग 10% ऑफ होगा ऑन सिलेक्ट मर्चेंडाइज, कुछ पे 30, कुछ पे 20, कुछ पे 40, या फिर फ्लैट 40% ऑफ मीनिंग पूरी मर्चेंडाइज पे फ्लैट 40% ऑफ। यहाँ पे हम परसेंटेज की बात नहीं कर रहे हैं, यहाँ पे वी आर टॉकिंग ऑफ द स्पेशल प्राइसेस विच आर अ लिटिल लेस देन द ओरिजिनल प्राइस ऑफ द प्रोडक्ट, राइट। डिफरेंट प्राइसेस फॉर डिफरेंट प्रोडक्ट्स होंगे यहाँ पे। देन रिफंड्स, right, that is you buy a product, right, give us the empty package of that product, ठीक है। For example these MAC lipsticks, that if you get 3 empty vials of the lipstick, you get 1 lipstick free, this is refund। तो एक free पाने के चक्कर में you will buy 3, use it and then give them the packing, right। Then premium or gifts, that you buy a particular product, you buy a toothpaste and you get a toothbrush free, fine, you buy a liquid wash, you get a sanitizer free, so something extra you get with the product without anything, without you having to pay anything extra for that premium or gift, right। Then quantity deals, that means paise do 500 grams ke, but the quantity that you're going to get is about 750 grams, right, so 250 grams free, so 750 grams for the price of 500 grams, that is called as your quantity deals। Samples, just in order to make people aware about your product, right, you give sample, you give like अगर washing powders होते तो इतने इतने से sachets हैं, या in for that matter shampoos जब introduce हुए थे, right, they had started to distribute these, you get these shampoo sachets till now, I guess in this brunch sometimes at the last page there's a sachet of shampoo or a hair oil, something like that, those are samples, right। और कई बार ऐसा भी होता है कि existing product के साथ आप एक existing product लीजिए, let us say for example if there is a brand of chips, ठीक है, and they have also entered into let us say some kind of a health drink, ठीक है, तो आप एक पैक ऑफ चिप्स अगर खरीदेंगे तो उसके साथ आपको हेल्थ ड्रिंक का सैंपल फ्री मिलेगा, सो इससे आपके चिप्स भी बिकेंगे, एंड दूसरा जो न्यू प्रोडक्ट रेंज जो इसमें आप एंटर कर रहे हो, द कस्टमर्स विल गेट अ चांस टू ट्राई दैट ऑल्सो, राइट। देन पैकेज्ड प्रीमियम, पीछे एक इनकी स्कीम लॉन्च हुई थी, आई नॉट दैट यू बाय अ सोप, किसी एक सोप में गोल्ड पेंडेंट मिलेगा, राइट, सो पीपल they immediately started to buy the soap cakes of that particular brand, ठीक है, thinking that maybe I'm the lucky one and I find that gold pendant, right। Then container premium, sometimes you get this, like let's say Bonvita, they come in these jars which can be reused, they come in these glass jars which can be reused, so that is also quite an attraction for the customers, right। Then scratch and win a prize, now sometimes when you buy a product you get a scratch along with that, or scratch card which is inside the package, you scratch it and there is a code given to you, or sometimes better luck next time, either you get a prize, there is a possibility that you get a prize, there's also a possibility that you don't get a prize। I left out on one, that is contests, sometime inside the package of a product there is a form, it says that you fill up that form and drop it in the drop box, then there's going to be a lucky draw, then maybe you get a chance to win। Element of the promotion mix, that is personal selling. Personal selling, as the name suggests, it is selling personally, that is on one-to-one basis, right? It involves face-to-face interaction of the buyer and seller for the purpose of making sales। I think you would have seen कई बार होता है that these sales girl, they come over to your place, okay, either to sell some shampoos or some other gadget, right? So when a buyer approaches a seller on a one-to-one basis, that is called as your personal selling। Now what are the characteristics of personal selling? Number one being personal interaction. Obviously when a buyer and a seller, they are going to have a one-on-one interaction, face-to-face interaction, they will be in a better position to develop a rapport, fine, from where they can take on. It's a two-way communication process, right? In advertisement क्या होता है that only the manufacturer is informing the customer about the product, its features, its availability, right? The customer is not able, cannot rather, say anything or cannot express his views over the product, and secondly whatever doubts that he needs to clarify regarding the usage of the product, he cannot do that. It's a more of a monologue in case of advertising, right? But in case of personal selling, it's a two-way communication because they are interacting on one-to-one basis. So first of all, the seller is going to explain everything about the product, its features and all. right? Then the buyer, wherever he is not clear about the usage of the product, can clarify his doubts there and then. Right? Then thirdly, better response. The seller is able to elicit a better response from the buyer, right? Because they are interacting on one-to-one basis. They have already developed a rapport wherein the seller is in a better position to convince the buyer that this product is going to be of great use to him, right? Then relationship, because when you are chatting, right, because when you are talking to a person on one-to-one basis, right, it is not only, we say that a good salesperson, he's an icebreaker. He breaks the ice. He's the one who initiates the conversation. And it's not always that you start, okay, this is what the product is all about. You do ask about, okay, what is the family all about, and what is the product that you're using right now? What are the problems that you're facing? How our product is better than this, right? So you do develop a kind of a relationship with every single customer that you're interacting with, right? So you can capitalize onto this relationship, which will further help to increase